Hello guys, so welcome to another insightful session on my channel. I'm so glad you've made time to join me once again. As I promised you in my recent video that we are going to have a white paper convo. Basically to enlighten those who are preparing for their F1 visa interview. We have a lot of international students in US and each and every one had a different experience with regards to the F1 visa preparation. Prior to the interview and the actual interview itself. So I'll be hosting my colleagues, some of them from different countries, some from Ghana, Nigeria, India, South Korea. They'll be coming here basically to share their experience, what really worked for them, and some of the mistakes they made that nearly made them to miss. Not get their visa approved. So others too had theirs approved on the second attempt, some on the third attempt, others on the fifth attempt. Myself, I had it on my first attempt. So what really worked for me and what also worked for them, that is what we're going to do here. So if you are new here, kindly subscribe, like, and ask your questions in the comment section, and I'll be glad to respond to you. And if you are a returning viewer, thank you for coming back to watch my videos. Please share these videos for me and let's move together. It is all about the journey of hope, and once again, scholarship is not lottery. Tada! Energy! All right, so after getting your admission, what did you do next?
Okay, so I reached out to the international students office, where I was asked to present my financial documents, financial statements from my dad. And after that, I was given my I-20. After receiving my I-20, I purchased my MRV.
All right, so we will come there. But so you mean you had an admission, then you just reached out to the international students office, and they just asked you to submit your financial statement. All right, did you get any form of funding from the school?
No, there was no funding.
So how much was it? The estimated cost of attendance for the year?
It was $22,000.
Oh, okay, that is interesting. All right, so now you've sent your bank statement to the school. They've given you your I-20. What was the next step?
Okay, so I-20 was given to me. I bought my MRV fee at GT Bank. Then I filled my DS-160 form online, applied for my emergency appointment, got my date, and I attended the interview. All
right, so that is so simple but very loaded.
Yeah.
You purchased, you had your I-20, which is basically, guys, the I-20 is just, a certificate of eligibility for international students to be given F1 visa. So you had the I-20, then you purchased an MRV, that is your visa. How much was it?
It was $960.
$960, that was $160. So you don't have to let any agent dupe you about this money. It is so simple. So you bought your, you purchased your visa, you filled your DS-160. How was it? How was the experience filling your DS-160? How was it? What are some of the things you share with them? Is it quite technical or very difficult to fill or what?
The DS-160 is a very crucial document, I would say, because that's what is viewed by the interviewer when you go to the embassy. So I would advise you take your time to put in the right information. You have your personal information, your guardian information, your school information. So you just have to be clear about take your time, take your passport, because you need your date of birth, your expiration date, and everything.
Should tally.
Everything
there shouldn't be any discrepancy.
Exactly. Yeah. Your CV's ID will be required. Everything should be put
right. So with the DS-160, that is basically that. And I think, guys, that is as simple as that. So you don't need to pay anyone to kind of, fill the DS-160 for you. Their information you already know, but it should tally with whatever document you have. Right. That's your passport and any other credential you'll be submitting. Exactly. Right. Yeah. All right. So now you have your I-20. I've already explained the I-20. That is, it captures, your details, the course details, the school details, and your financials, as in the one sponsoring you, his or her details. In this case, your dad was your sponsor, right? Nice one. Now let's move on. So now we've already captured that. Prior to the interview, you've already booked. How was the experience like? Because I realized that you guys, we also experienced the same problem after even having the emergency approved. And with emergency, why she requested for emergency is that now due to the COVID-19, it is very difficult to get, a date that is closer to you within that year. So you would have to request for what? Emergency. And that is for those who are students, F1 visa, and also those who are medical those who are coming to us for medical treatment and some job specifics. Not all. I mean, I'm sure they have their own regulations. So that is that. But we are concerned about students. So if you're a student, you qualify for the emergency. So when you booked, did you even get a date? Immediately?
No. After I bought the MRV, logged into the the appointment page and everything. The first date I had was in 2022, July 2022. So a friend advised you pick that date, you go to the left side of the bar where you see emergency appointments, you click on it, submit the required document.
So what is one of the required document then?
I submitted my I-20 and my admission letter to the embassy, and then they will send you a message that will get back to you after 10 working days.
Yes,
so you just have to wait for them.
Yeah. So to add up to what she said, I mean, she had to also add a proof that indeed you are having a date which is not favorable.
Exactly.
And also your admission letter to authenticate that your school needs you at this time or that. And to help those who have already received funding packages, admission, and you are waiting for 60 days, their threshold before you apply, please, that's not how it works. You will sit and wait, and trust me, you will get stuck wherever you are watching me from. So please, be smart. If you're having an offer, like a funding offer, leverage on that, reach out to them. They'll be able to help you. As I already explained in my recent video. All right. So now we are through with the appointment. How about the date hassle? Just tell about the date hassle so that we can just quickly come to the main interview.
The date hassle is real because I was supposed to be here in the fall, but due to the struggle in getting dates, I had to defer from the fall to the spring. So the dates were available, but you have to be very, smart, and people say you have to be the 48 minutes, the dawn, all this. Yeah. But I had my date for spring in October, and that was in early August.
That's right.
Yeah. So
you had a date in August. Sorry, you chose the date in August, but that was in October.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Yeah. So I think when you want it now. For currently we're in March, so probably you have July, August opening in this season. So because October was open in August, nice so one. October was quite open, and I chose that. All
right, so now let's just move to the main interview. That is what they are waiting for. So now you got into Cantonment, that is in Ghana, where she's coming from. That's where we have our US embassy located. So was it in the morning or in the afternoon? Just take us through from the start to the finish.
Okay, my appointment was at 8:30 a.m. So Ghana traffic and everything, you have to wake up, and it's an interview. It's good to be prepared mentally and calm before you arrive. So I got there by 7:30. I was already there with my documents and everything. You'll be in the queue waiting.
So before you come to the queue, what dress did you wear?
I was casual. I just wore a skirt with the T-shirt, something I'm wearing like this, just dressed like a student, because you are going as a student, so you have to look
like a student. So you didn't go and wear any high heels and luxurious and extravagant suits and stuff.
I would advise you to look very casual.
Okay. Yeah. Look your very best. Let me put it that way. All right. So now continue from there for us.
So it was at 8:30. Before you enter into the embassy, you have some people coming towards you to arrange you based on your time. That 7:30 will go in first. 8. So just
in
that order. So you just have to follow them and wait for your turn. So then you enter the embassy.
Perfect.
So but before you enter, there will be a security guard to check if your
really,
receipts.
That's right. Affirms you are part of those who are coming today.
If you have an appointment on that day, so I would advise that is required.
Just
take that along.
Yeah, you can't just and you can't just because it's likely someone might be having a date in, let's say today is what date? All right, so assuming today is Wednesday and probably your appointment is next week Tuesday, you can't just go and join today. Well, because you have an appointment, you can't just go and join those who are going this week because they'll have to verify, right?
Exactly.
So how was it? So after that, you've passed. They've taken your visa appointment confirmation. They've checked, so you have already passed the security guard. So yeah.
When you enter the embassy, you would have a lady there. Okay, well, that may change.
Yeah.
Who will check she'll check everything you have, arrange it properly for you before you get to the consular.
So arrange it to required and optional.
Exactly. So she'll put all the required ones into your passport. That will be what you present to the consular, and the optional ones will be behind that. So then continue to the queue, and then you get to the consular.
Yeah.
And he will take the required documents from you.
Okay, I had this incident. I mean, they had to ask me to go and retake my picture because it wasn't that okay. Did you experience that?
Well, yeah. The picture I took when I got there, the woman said she preferred what was on my confirmation page
Than what you sent.
So she cropped that and she decided not to take what I had.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what she said. She preferred that.
Okay, so that is perfect. So let's continue. So how was the interview? I mean, you're already there, so I'm sure good morning as usual.
Yeah, I greeted him. Good morning. He said good morning. Then he asked why Eastern Illinois.
That was the first question.
Yeah, why did I choose the school? And I told him the Department of Economics has a specialization in financial markets that I'm very much interested in. That's why I would love to attend Eastern Illinois.
So you identified a specialization in department or concentration.
Yeah, why you should have, aside from all the other reasons you like, you make it a bit personal. Why you decided to pick the school, why it's kind of personal to you. So that's what I presented to him.
Okay.
Then he asked who is sponsoring, and I said my dad. So he asked for the financial documents of my dad. I gave him my sponsorship letter. So he did a lot of typing. He asked, okay, I've seen that you've been to the US before.
Oh, okay.
In other country.
Okay.
I was like, yeah, I mentioned that also. Then he kept typing, and he gave me a letter that said that I'll be going through some administrative processes.
So your questions were basically two: why Eastern and your sponsorship, and you were placed on administrative processing or review.
Yeah.
So with administrative review, how long did it take?
It took approximately a month. A month. They only verify your documents to be sure that your dad will be able to sponsor your trip and everything presented to them is valid.
Right.
Yeah.
So in this situation, we can, this visa issue, we all can't, ascertain that this is what worked for her or that, but we can deductively make a point that you are having a travel experience which was in US specifically, and that really worked for you. So guys, take note. If you have a very legit travel experience, probably in different countries, it should work for you. So now you are done with your visa and everything, and so they send it via DHL, right?
Yeah, DHL picked it up for me.
Visa approved. So you didn't get a white paper that very day, right?
No, I didn't get that.
Oh, no, that works. All right, so now I think this is quite detailed and comprehensive. What are some of the things that you would tell them and advise and some things you should be very careful about during the preparation, actual interview, composure, anything that you would want to tell my audience?
I think the DS-160 should be completed properly. You should check it before you send it to the embassy because editing it is quite difficult and will cause some issues. So you should take your time and fill it properly and also have the required documents. You don't need to take a lot of things, but just make sure
you have the required documents. As you've heard, the I-20.
Sometimes they can even ask you for your birth certificates randomly.
Yeah.
So I think
these are some of the optional documents which you would need. And with the DS-160, just to add to what she's saying, we are all helping. Just having a conversation. You shouldn't send the forms you have filled, as in the DS-160 forms, rather, but the confirmation page with the scanned, QR code.
The one that has your picture on it.
Yeah, and your QR code boldly there for the DSO to retrieve your document. So I think
also, you can go online, check possible questions, because I stood behind the mirror asking myself, okay, when you're asked this, how would you respond to
Did you have access to some of these YouTube videos like we are doing?
Oh yes, I did. I watched them, and I also went to Google possible F1 questions.
So recommend they should come to my channel and be watching us.
Possible questions about that. It's very necessary. It's good to prepare yourself before going.
All right. So before we close it, I think the DS-160, you don't have to hastily submit it that very first day. You have 30 days to always be updating it till you are done. Okay, so that is that, guys. So it is as simple as that. She had a visa approved in a month later because she was placed under administrative review. So this means that if your bank statement was fake,
that would have caused an issue. People pay for bank statements.
Would you recommend that?
I do not approve of that.
Next one.
Because it goes under administrative process.
So guys, that is that for this episode. We have more coming your way. I'll be hosting different people from different countries to share their experiences. People who have been denied 6 times. It's so crazy. On their first attempt they had it. Others who went and they just asked them, which school are you going to? And they just mentioned their school, they had their visa approved. So they'll be coming here. What will work for them? So stay tuned for more episodes of White Paper Convo. Tada! Energy.